Okay, so any questions, any comments, any contributions before I get started with the video that we're going to finish off with? We can start with that video today. Okay. Okay, great. So I'm going to... So this is, again, from The Legend of Bagger Vance. It's another clip. This clip is far more significant than the other one. You're going to notice where he says to him, the caddy, which is Will Smith, to Matt Damon, who's the golf player. The golf player's name is Rudolph Jr. He's going to go up to Rudolph Jr. and say, I think it's time. And he says, time for what? And he says, time for you to see the field. And he says, I see the field. It's 445 strokes ahead of me. It's got a red flag. And he says, that ain't it. Because if you were seeing the field, you wouldn't be chopping as though you're chopping weeds out of your front lawn. Because he's obviously, anyone play golf? So he's obviously slicing it, etc. Okay, so the field... I just want to remind you, because when he says that's not the field is here. Okay? You ready to go? Are you present? One breath. Let's go. Lights, please. Capture the words, guys. Listen. Listen to the words, guys. I want you to tell me what you heard. The last video, I told you everything. Tell me what you heard. We've got our mics ready to go. I want you to share. If I'm just giving you the answers, you know, the program's not powerful. Let's go. Lights, please.
Oh, yes. Greatest game there is. Right, Hardy?
Yes, sir.
The greatest game there will ever be.
Just you and the ball.
All by your lonesome.
Hey.
I think it's time.
Time for what?
Time for you to see the field.
The field? I see the field, but it's 445 yards long. It's got a little red flag at the end of it. It's 12 strokes ahead of me. Come on.
That ain't it. Because if you was seeing the field, you wouldn't be hacking at that ball like you was chopping weeds out from under your front porch.
Just give me the club.
Sorry I brung it up. Here, you gonna take that hack away.
All right, what's the field?
Fix your eyes on Bobby Jones.
He's a piece of work here right now.
Whoa, in the man room. Man room. Knock it out there, Bobby.
Look at his practice swing. Almost like it's searching for something. Then he finds it. Watch how he settles himself right into the middle of it. Feel that focus. And he got a lot of shots he could choose from. Duffs and tops and skulls. There's only one shot that's in perfect harmony with the field. One shot that's his. Authentic shot. And that shot is going to choose him. There's a perfect shot out there trying to find each and every one of us. All we got to do is get ourselves out of its way. Let it choose us. Look at him. He in the field. You can't see that flag as some dragon you got to slay. You have to look with soft eyes. See the place where the tides and the seasons and the turning of the earth all come together. Where everything that is becomes one. And you got to seek that place with your soul, Junior. Seek it with your hands. Don't think about it. Feel it. Your hands is wiser than your head ever gonna be. Now, I can't take you there, Junior. Just hopes I can help you find a way. It's just you, that ball, that flag, and all you are. Seek it with your hands. Don't think about it.
Feel
You're looking at it, Junior. Feel it. It's just
There's
you.
only one shot that's in perfect
ball,
harmony. We don't see that.
It's the home of your authentic swing. That flag, and all that you are.
What does it do at the beginning? Put your eyes on Bobby Jones. Look at his practice swing. It's almost like he's searching for something. Then he finds it. Where does he find it? Right in the middle of it. What did you guys get? I kicked off. You went to Africa? What do you mean? Microphone?
In some point, this feeling of one, where we belong to the same and we are the one and the one is us.
Mm-hmm.
I just went to Africa when we see the sunrise when he was being one.
Mm-hmm.
I also went there.
Mm.
But it was Africa.
Okay. How was Africa? Good?
It's always wonderful.
Amazing. Excellent. Thank you. He says to him, you need to look for that place where the turn of the earth, the seasons, where everything that is comes together as one. You need to seek that place with your soul, Junior, he says. Anyone else? Microphone straight up the back.
I wanted to ask something since this morning, but now I find the opportunity. You talk a lot about the middle and balance and finding the soul, but you also said that we need to find a balance between our intellectual part and the soul. Me, find it really hard to not let my mind interfere in my soul wishes. Maybe I read them. Every day I read my soul wishes, but my mind is always more active than my soul. So I think that's about finding the secret. I don't know if there's a secret or just let it come. I don't know. But that's the most difficult for me, not letting my mind interfere in my soul's work.
I understand, and you're not alone. And there is an art to this. There is an art to this. You know, most people, they'll have something from their soul come to them. The head will take over and go, how are we going to make this happen? But the key is to stay with the feeling.
Yes.
The key is to stay in the moment. It's to let it find us. What does he say in that clip? Let it find you. Remember, all the decisions, all the choices that you're making that is from free will is when the decision's already made. It's when you realize, I love this. That's what you're sharing is what everyone is, that's the battle. But I can tell you the reasons why it's happening, but to be honest, you've got to do the work. You have to do the work. It doesn't just happen, you know? It's you require the willingness and the yearning for you to actually do the work on yourself. Start following your feelings. You know, everything I do, from even coming here to Portugal to, you know, to coming back to speaking, everything, my entire life, meeting my wife, everything is just with the feeling. You know how I met my wife? So I got an invitation from a friend of mine to go to a wedding, and around that time, I got to a point where I was like, I'm ready to settle down, you know? I was traveling around the world, enjoying myself, having fun. My mum used to tell me, enjoy yourself, don't get in a relationship, go and have sex, enjoy. True story. So I was like, yes, Mum. And so one day I said, you know, I'm ready to settle down, and I got an invitation from a friend of mine to go to his wedding, and I felt that I'm about to meet the person I'm going to marry and have children with. So I RSVP'd for 2 people to his wedding, which was some months away. And he called me and he goes, Zoghi, why did you RSVP for 2 people? I said, because I'm going to bring someone with me. Who are you with? Oh, I'm not with her yet. I'm going to bring someone. No, man, this is a special wedding. I'd really appreciate you don't bring a girlfriend like this is, you know. No, she will be my life partner. You haven't met her yet? No. But I want you to RSVP too. A few months later, I took my now wife and the mother of my children to that wedding because I felt it. And I didn't go and battle with my thoughts of going, you know what? You know the wonderful thing about not knowing how it's going to happen? You can let go. You know, we cause anxiety by trying to control the things we can't control. What I love about manifestation is when it's something I've got no idea how I'm going to meet her, but I know because I felt it. So I don't try to control it. I don't try to manipulate. Maybe I go on this dating site. Maybe I don't look for it. It comes to me. All you got to do is swing the club. It finds you. But if you're trying to find it here, you know, we have questions. We can ask the question here. When I say that these 2 marry up, this uses this. When it's just this is our human component. It's our tool. But if the heart or the soul or the one is not using the tool, then the tool is using the tool, then you become just the tool. And that could be taken in many ways. You know what it means to be a tool? Yes, so you just become a tool. You require the heart to use this, to move this, The ship can't be steered without the motors turning. You could steer the ship, but it won't be steered unless it's moving forward. That's how it's married up. This uses this. Thank you. Microphone up. Down here. Yes, okay. We'll come to you next. Thanks for the question, by the way. Thank you.
How do you know that you are not being guided by the head? And
Because
you
it feels very different. Again, I will coach you through this. It feels very different. One is very manipulative. One has reasons. One feels heavy. One feels you feel anxious.
Okay.
Okay. One is you're concerned about what someone's going to think about you. One feels where. So I just described when it's coming from the head. When it's coming from the soul, it feels light.
How do you go there? How do you let everything else go to reach it?
How do you let go? Everything else go?
Yeah. How do you let everything in your mind, in your head, the 1,000 thoughts you have, the 1,000 reasons you give?
One way.
Okay.
Bring your attention back to your feet. Right now, yes? Bring your attention back to your feet. Bring your attention to here. All that is a lie. Those thoughts that you're having about how the future, it's not even your thoughts. It's pre-programmed computer. It's just, and you're just listening to it. It's like a radio. And you just listen to it. It's not even your thoughts. I mean, if you think about it and you say, I am thinking, who's the I? It's not even, all the thoughts that you make of the future is not your thinking. The true, intuitive, creative thinking is happening in the moment. All that is just thought, perception, belief, experience. It's just pre-programmed. And it never finishes. It just keeps going. The more you place your attention there, the more it takes you on a ride. You see, you have the power of your mind simply by placing your attention here. You just become present. The breath is harder, but that's what I use. My mother said to me, when you go to work, Amir, this was when I was a young entrepreneur, working many, many hours, burning myself out. She said, when you go to work, I just want you to sit down and take 3 breaths before you start work. So I'd get up in the office, 6 a.m., 6:30, put my laptop down, and go, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what my mum said. And I sat there. I don't feel anything. It took a while. Now I do it with 1 breath. 1 breath, I feel everything. So you find it through your body, through the tips of your body, fingertips, sole of your feet, the crown. Just place your attention. Your attention goes there, you're present. Your attention goes to the thinking. You know the rat running on the race? How powerful are you? Simply by placing your attention, you're moving energy. Okay? The breath I teach in my coaching, and I call it 1 breath because that's all it takes. It takes 1 breath. Because the moment when you lose it, it's only 1 moment away. And it's this is no longer Amir. not Amir, the identity. You understand? It takes practice. But right now, you've calmed right down. Just even the space you were asking the question from was almost anxious. But you're like, look at you. You just calmed down. All you did is move your attention. So it's practice. You hear? Bring it. You know, I used to smoke cigarettes. I hope my mum doesn't ever watch this. But when I was younger, socially smoking, and I got addicted. And I wanted to give it up. I said, I don't want to smoke cigarettes. Dr. Anna, don't judge me. So anyway, I would always give up and come back. And then, I go out clubbing, socializing, and before I know it, hey, have a cigarette. Oh, okay. Right? I get back on it. And one day I said, no more. I don't want cigarettes. And so I started to observe myself. And I noticed that every time, by observing myself, by the way, I would actually allow myself to smoke and observe how I feel. Just be open to how, and I felt this disgusting. It tastes gross. So I noticed I didn't like it. But I would have thoughts that would pop in and go, ding, cigarette. And all I would do with that thought is say, next. I just move to the next thought. I wouldn't try to get rid of that thought. I just move on. I would say next. I remember one day, because I would say next. It would work for me. Next. I just moved my attention. And back then, I didn't know how to move my attention to my feet or anything. I just moved my attention to the next thought. Next. I remember one day standing in the lift. I got in and it was a full lift, everyone. And I'm there and thinking, oh, cigarette. I went, next. And everyone was like, what? I said it out loud. You have the power in your mind to place your attention where it needs to be. There's nowhere else to be but here. Do you know why? Because outside of here, nothing else exists. Does the past exist? No. How can you experience the past? Except through memory. It's memory. It doesn't exist. It's not alive. It's dead. It's no longer. Okay? So you can't experience the past. Only through memory. It's not real. It's memory. Okay? Can you experience the future? No, you can't. So the rest is an illusion. When that drops in, any thought you have of the future, you just bring my attention here. Even speaking, coming here, I don't think about. Thank you. Microphone up there, please.
Hello, Amir.
Hello.
Great to feel your work and your truth.
What's your name?
George.
Hey, Josh.
What I felt seeing the clip was that when he was trying to get aligned with the moment, he was like expecting to receive the oneness. And what I visualized was that graphic, like when he was practicing the swing, was like he was, and when it crossed the moment, he felt it like, this is it.
Yeah.
And that's when he knew it was the play to make.
Absolutely. And at that moment, it's no longer the little junior taking the shot.
It's the big one.
It's the big one. How many times have you taken the shot, whatever the shot is for you, and you have no idea how you did it?
Yeah.
You're like, and someone came into you and went, how did you do that? You have no idea because it wasn't you. People come up to me and go, how do you know this stuff? Did you read it in a book? I promise you I haven't. I don't even read a book. Because it doesn't come from the little Amir.
Many times the fear blocks us, the noise.
He says in that clip, don't see that flagon as some dragon you got to slay. What's the flag, he says? The flag is the outcome. It's the result. That's where he wants the ball to land, right? So that's the result in your life. That's the outcome. Don't look at it as some dragon you got to slay. What's that? Fighting, fear. Instead, look at it with soft eyes. What's that? Love. He says, it's just you, that ball, and all that you are. That's how you attain the result. It's you, the ball. The ball's got to go over there. The outcome, and all that you are. Who's going to go watch that movie now? A few of you guys? Okay. It's excellent. Thank you. All right. So, the way of the one. Let's start off with a big question. What makes something infinite? We already started to talk about this briefly before, didn't we? One of the things I said is that something that is infinite has no boundaries. It has no beginning or end. Yes? Okay? Would you agree? Scream out some stuff. What else makes something? I want this to come from you. Yeah, these are the things that I creatively, intuitively thought to myself. I asked a question. By the way, if you're looking for answers, never look for the answer from the place that you asked the question from. You know why? Because you don't know the question. You don't know the answer. That's why you're asking the question. I use my head to ask the question. I allow the answer. I don't look for the answer. Because if I'm looking for the answer, I'm looking for the answer in my head. I allow the answer to be realized in my heart. Okay? If you ever have a question, ask yourself the question, but don't look for the answer. The answer will tap you on the shoulder. And you're like, thank you. Everything that I'm sharing with you is because I asked the question, I let the answer come to me. I didn't read it in a book. You could believe me, because some of the stuff that I'm saying, I haven't seen in a book so far. I'm sure someone will write it. What makes something infinite? Why formless? Okay, no form, okay, but why? Because if it has form, what is it then? It's limited, it's finite. Yes? What else? What else can you tell me about infinite? I mean, you guys want to tap into the limitless. You need to realize what infinite is. No obstacles, all right? Hey? Define? Divine? Yeah, you could say that. You could say also love, divine, because, I mean, but I just want to keep it really simple. Something that's really profound that I would ponder, I would contemplate for myself about infinity, is that if there is, well, first of all, it was never born, it never dies. It has no boundaries, it has no parameters, it has no start, it has no end. Would you agree? What else does that tell you? There can only be one. Let that drop in for a sec. Let it drop in deep. There can only be one. Because if there's a beginning, let's just say there's two infinites. Okay. If there's two infinites, that means one has a beginning and an end, and so does the other. But what did we just say about beginning and end? If it has a beginning and end, it's finite. Would you agree? There's only one energy. There can't be two. I mean, if there's two, then they're both not infinite. They're both finite. It has to be connected. There can't be any separation. So when I'm referring to infinite, I'm just referring to energy, guys. Okay? I'm not religious. I'm not scientific. For me, my work is art. To me, I'm an artist. I'm not spiritual. I'm neither. I don't like to put a label. To me, it's art. I'm sharing an art. So when I say infinite, it's energy. If I was to describe that energy, it feels joy. It feels like joy, or what we've been referring to as the real love. The love that has no reasons. Some of you have, you ate dessert, didn't you? Rookie mistake. This is why I don't eat when I'm doing these talks. I can feel your energies is like, oh, this is the part that you really need to be present. Do I need to get everybody up and do a massage or anything like that? Do we need to do that? Or, hey, who wants to experience being on stage and everybody screams at them, gives them recognition? Guys, let's get up 1 second. We're going to have to do with the personal development stuff. Everyone up, some music. All right? Everyone turn to your right and give the person in front of you a little massage. Little massage, that's it. Some music, please. Yep, that's it. Give him some scratches. There you go. If they're okay, maybe pull their hair or massage their head. Oh, very good. So come on, you join in over there. You can join in with the boys. There you go. Beautiful. Just give them some taps on their legs. Tap, 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 tap. If you know them well, you can tap their ass. Okay? If you know them well. Okay, turn around, the other side. Turn around. A little massage. Little massage. Some scratches. Some pats. And some tapping on their legs. And if you know them well, give them a pinch on the butt. Okay, let's go. Thanks, guys. Let's take a seat. Woo! Come on! Yeah! Let's go, Portugal. Okay, so we now have grasped what makes something infinite. But let me ask you this question. So it's in the recording. Because it's something that's infinite, and this is, someone always says, oh, something that's infinite means they can have anything they want. Great, they love that, I love that one, because the ego kicks in and goes, I can have anything. I can have anything, right? The funny thing is, the truth is, you can have anything you want as long as you don't want it. You can have anything, I promise you. I was a speaker, and then I went and became a pilot. Complete different business, complete different career. If you want to, you can become a singer. You can have anything you want as long as you don't want it. Because the moment you want it, you tell your mind you don't have it. Wanting implies you don't have. And then what you do is manifest the experience of wanting. You're telling yourself, the mind is powerful. I want this. I want to want this. So you create the experience of wanting it. Interesting, isn't it? So the reason I share this with you is because I wanted you to ask you this very next question. Because this is kind of paradox, or it clashes, because we just said infinite can have anything it wants, right? But then this next question is kind of a clash. What's the one thing an infinite cannot have? No? It's more profound than that. It's not that that's incorrect, it's more profound. And someone who's done my program, give someone who's done a chance. Or some of the people who have done my program, they're like, I don't remember the answer to this.
No beginning, no end.
No beginning and end, which means what?
Another.
A what?
Another.
Yes. Yes. She said, another infinite.
Oh.
And she hasn't done my program. Another. An infinite is something, or it's energy, that has no beginning and end. That's what makes it infinite. It was never born, it never dies, it has no parameters, it has no beginning and end. But the one thing an infinite cannot have is two infinites, another infinite. Now some of your minds will go, why would it want an infinite, another infinite? Because it's infinite. I'll come back to you. Why would you need another infinite? It doesn't need it, it just loves it. Remember, we're so conditioned to doing things because we need to, just because it loves it. When my kids, I put the toys in front of them, they always want to invite their friends over. Daddy, can I invite this person or that person? Can I have a play date? Hey, these are your toys, just play with yourself. No, I want to play with someone else. Do you not want to play with someone else? Do you not want to share? Let's be clear, it doesn't need it. Because sometimes people go, well, why would it need to do that? It's infinite. It doesn't. So here's the thing. The one thing, an infinite, let's call it a being, an infinite being, the one thing an infinite being cannot have is another infinite. But if you're an infinite being, you can manifest the experience of creating another infinite, can't you? Maybe in a different dimension or something. I mean, you're an infinite being. You can then manifest a place where there could be two infinites. Could you not? A place known as duality. So amongst us, there are infinite beings. But let's be very clear, where you are infinite is here, in your mind. Not the mental mind, the one mind. This is where you're infinite. You become infinite up here. Amongst us, there are infinite beings. Not many. Not too many. But there are. Can I tell you how it happens? Let me give you a metaphor, because this is where it gets really difficult. I'm not going to jump. I'm going to skip this video and we'll see if we can come back to it. You look at the iceberg. Everybody see iceberg? What's the iceberg made out of? Water. Okay? It's just changed its form. It was formless or liquid, but it's changed its frequency, and now it's vibrating at a different frequency, which manages itself to be presented as a solid. Yes? But the iceberg is made out of the water. It's floating in the water. If you haven't caught on yet, the water or the ocean is infinity. The iceberg is the finite. So the iceberg is not only made out of the water, it sits amongst it. Did you know that a fish doesn't know that it swims in water? Did you know that? Yes, a fish doesn't know it's swimming in the water. Did you know that you're not aware that you're swimming in a sea of infinite possibilities? It's here. Why do you not know that? Because your attention is on yourself. Your attention is on what I say, your attention is with me. With me meaning you. You need to take your attention outside. Imagine this bottle is made out of ice. Can we imagine that? I know it's plastic, But just imagine, have you been to those -5 bars? Have you got those here? You go into a bar and the whole thing is made out of ice. The bar, the glass, you pour the bourbon for you, but the glass is made out of ice. Who's been to one of those? Okay, cool. So imagine we're at the -5 bar and this bottle is made out of ice. Okay? And you take this bottle and put it into the ocean, and before you put it on the ocean, you take a drop of it, close the lid, and let it float on the ocean. Soon enough, this drop of water is no longer going to believe that it is the ocean. It is going to be convinced that it is now a drop. Its power was the entire ocean a moment ago, but now its power is a drop of the ocean. And it begins to believe that not only is its power limited to the drop, it starts to believe that it is this bottle. Now, what's the bottle made out of? The ocean. What's the drop in there? The ocean. Where is the bottle floating on? The ocean. And on this ocean, there is many bottles, brown ones, yellow ones, white ones, big ones, small ones, tall ones, short ones, all kinds of shapes. Here's another one. This one I prepared early on. And these two bottles think they're not the same. Yes? Until this one starts to look within and starts to question, who am I? I feel like there's something more to life. I feel like there's something missing. Life can't be just this. There's something more. And it starts to question and it starts to look for it itself. Instead of looking outside, it starts to look within. You know what happens? Who's heard of Rumi before? Rumi. Yeah, hands up. He's the great Persian poet. One of my favorite quotes from him is that you are not the drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in the drop. What a powerful quote, right? But think about it. How can you become the entire ocean in that drop? It's a famous quote. It's an amazing quote. You feel powerful by listening to that quote. You are not the drop in the ocean. You are the enormity, the entire ocean in the drop. But then you've got to ask yourself, how can you be the entire ocean in a drop? Well, let me show you. Here's the drop. This drop begins to ask, who am I? It starts to do the work. It starts to look for itself. You know what happens? And by the way, in case you're wondering, this is happening right now. And as it's happening, you are feeling it. Who's had the feeling swirling within them some point today? Okay, cool. All right. You know the tiniest, I mean minute, tiniest little hole opens up here? Because what's the bottle made out of? Ice. It just melts a little bit and this little layer here gets really thin and a tiny little hole opens up. What happens to the drop? More important question, what's happening with the ocean? The drop is starting to feel different because it's no longer the same drop. It's another version of itself beginning to, watch. As this drop continues to do the work on itself, Let me fast forward this for you. This usually takes a few years, at least a couple, all right? Fast forward, this hole begins to become bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's no longer just feeling different, it's being different. It's no longer the drop. What happens when the bottom of this becomes bottomless? You are now the entire ocean in this drop. You ready for this? Can I show you my magic trick? This one energy now goes, hey, wake up. Wake up. You're not this bottle. You're not this drop. You're the entire ocean in the drop. And it supports this one to begin the work, blah, blah, blah. The hole starts opening up. And then guess what? This becomes bottomless. Now you have two infinite beings in a finite world. You have two infinite minds. It's still living through this bottle. It's still living as this body. You understand? Comprehend? Okay. That's as much I'm going to say about it, because I can see it's such a deep conversation. You can watch a recording again. You need to hear it 100 times. And again, I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm just saying that to get you to feel something. I'm really worried about doing a meditation with you guys right now. I just know at least 3/4 of you will just go, it's not going to happen. Let's see how we go. I'm going to show you a couple of... Yes, microphone, please. Yes, that's the remembering process. Yeah, you're remembering... Yeah, that's fine. You're remembering who you are. Okay. You forgot. Do you know why you forgot? Because so there can be two of us. You forgot. Because if you didn't forget, it would be infinite still. You need to forget, and you need to believe that that's who you are. And that you're born, and that you will die. But nothing is born, nothing dies. Everything is just transforming. Without you believing that that is who you are, or you as a baby going, this is who I am, we wouldn't be experiencing this. There it is. You're not the drop in the ocean, you're the entire ocean in the drop. Rumi. Most people are fixated on this, and they're making it happen. Some people are allowing it to happen. They're using their mind, their infinite mind. You guys feeling me? Is this some mind-bending shit? You have to find yourself. You will be out of the place of needing when you find yourself. You have to deserve. You have to find your deservingness. The reality, your reality will then bend around your deservingness. When you lack deservingness, you are bending around reality. What does that look like? Blood, sweat, and tears. Push, push, push. Make it happen, make it happen. Or the opposite is the reality bends. And you're like, this is exactly what sometimes it's... I won't go into manifestation right now. It's a complete module of my coaching program, and I don't want to soundbite it. But your entire reality bends around you. It bends. Just like when you put yourself up, the reality bends. How does it bend? It bends, it brings people, and circumstances into your life to bring you back down. It bends. Lights, please.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
No.
He is the one.
He's the one. It's like he's saying, what are you trying to tell me? I can make more money? Because I'm infinite, right? I can make more money. And then it's like Morpheus saying, no, Sophia, when you're ready, you won't have to. You should see your faces. Okay, I think I'm going to show you with you one more clip. This is a bit of a longer one, okay? But I think it's still important for me to share this with you because everyone's like, yeah, but what about the physical? Yeah, so it's more of a scientific slant on what I'm talking about. If it's okay, I'll share this with you. We'll take a break. Then after the break, I'm going to go straight into the guided meditation. If anyone is left outside, you'll miss out. So you have to be back right on time because I cannot have any noise. I cannot have any movement when we do this meditation. In fact, when you're doing this meditation, you want to be as still as possible. Have no movement. That's one of the guidelines. So let me show you this video. I skipped it before. I'm going to go back to it if that's all right. There it is. Here it is. Lights, please.
The picnic near the lakeside in Chicago was the start of a lazy afternoon, early one October. We begin with a scene 1 meter wide, which we view from just 1 meter away. Now every 10 seconds we will look from 10 times farther away, and our field of view will be 10 times wider. This square is 10 meters wide, and in 10 seconds the next square will be 10 times as wide. Our picture will center on the picnickers, even after they've been lost to sight. 100 meters wide. The distance a man can run in 10 seconds. Cars crowd the highway. Powerboats lie at their docks. The colorful bleachers are Soldiers Field. This square is 1 kilometer wide, 1,000 meters. The distance a racing car can travel in 10 seconds. We see the great city on the lake shore. 10 to the 4th meters, 10 kilometers. The distance a supersonic airplane can travel in 10 seconds. We see first the rounded end of Lake Michigan, then the whole Great Lake. 10 to the 5th meters. The distance an orbiting satellite covers in 10 seconds. Long parades of clouds, the day's weather in the Middle West. 10 to the 6th, a 1 with 6 zeros, 1 million meters. Soon the Earth will show as a solid sphere. We are able to see the whole Earth now, just over a minute along the journey. The Earth diminishes into the distance, but those background stars are so much farther away that they do not yet appear to move. A line extends at the true speed of light. In 1 second, it half crosses the tilted orbit of the moon. Now we mark a small part of the path in which the Earth moves about the Sun. Now the orbital paths of the neighbor planets, Venus and Mars, then Mercury. Entering our field of view is the glowing center of our solar system, the Sun, followed by the massive outer planets, swinging wide in their big orbits. That odd orbit belongs to Pluto. A fringe of a myriad comets too faint to see completes the solar system. Ten to the 14th. As the solar system shrinks to one bright point in the distance, our sun is plainly now only one among the stars. Looking back from here, we note 4 southern constellations, still much as they appear from the far side of the Earth. This squares 10 to the 16th meters, 1 light year, not yet out to the next star. Our last 10-second step took us 10 light years further. The next will be 100. Our perspective changes so much in each step now that even the background stars will appear to converge. At last, we pass the bright star Arcturus and some stars of the Dipper. Normal but quite unfamiliar stars and clouds of gas surround us as we traverse the Milky Way galaxy. Giant steps carry us into the outskirts of the galaxy. And as we pull away, we begin to see the great flat spiral facing us. The time and path we chose to leave Chicago has brought us out of the galaxy along a course nearly perpendicular to its disk. The 2 little satellite galaxies of our own are the clouds of Magellan. 10 to the 22nd power, 1,000,000 light years. Groups of galaxies bring a new level of structure to the scene. Glowing points are no longer single stars, but whole galaxies of stars seen as one. We pass the big Virgo cluster of galaxies among many others, 100 million light years out. As we approach the limit of our vision, we pause to start back home. This lonely scene, the galaxies like dust, is what most of space looks like. This emptiness is normal. The richness of our own neighborhood is the exception. The trip back to the picnic on the lakefront will be a sped-up version, reducing the distance to the Earth's surface by 1 power of 10 every 2 seconds. In each 2 seconds, we will appear to cover 90% of the remaining distance back to Earth. Notice the alternation between great activity and relative inactivity, a rhythm that will continue all the way into our next goal, a proton in the nucleus of a carbon atom beneath the skin on the hand of the sleeping man at the picnic. Ten to the 9th meters, 10 to the 8th, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are back at our starting point. We slow up at 1 meter, 10 to the 0 power. Now we reduce the distance to our final destination by 90% every 10 seconds, each step much smaller than the one before. At 10 to the minus 2, 1/100th of a meter, 1 centimeter, we approach the surface of the hand. In a few seconds, we'll be entering the skin, crossing layer after layer from the outermost dead cells into a tiny blood vessel within. Skin layers vanish in turn. An outer layer of cells, felty collagen. The capillary containing red blood cells and a roughly lymphocyte. We enter the white cell. Among its vital organelles, the porous wall of the cell nucleus appears. The nucleus within holds the heredity of the man in the coiled coils of DNA. As we close in, we come to the double helix itself, a molecule like a long twisted ladder whose rungs of paired bases spell out twice, in an alphabet of 4 letters, the words of the powerful genetic message. At the atomic scale, the interplay of form and motion becomes more visible. we focus on one commonplace group of 3 hydrogen atoms bonded by electrical forces to a carbon atom. 4 electrons make up the outer shell of the carbon itself. They appear in quantum motion as a swarm of shimmering points. At 10 to the minus 10 meters, 1 angstrom, we find ourselves right among those outer electrons. Now we come upon the 2 inner electrons held in a tighter swarm. As we draw toward the atom's attracting center, we enter upon a vast inner space. At last, the carbon nucleus. So massive and so small. This carbon nucleus is made up of 6 protons and 6 neutrons. We are in the domain of universal modules. There are protons and neutrons in every nucleus, electrons in every atom, atoms bonded into every molecule out to the farthest galaxy. As a single proton fills our scene, we reach the edge of present understanding. Are these some quarks in intense interaction? Our journey has taken us through 40 powers of 10. If now the field is 1 unit, then when we saw many clusters of galaxies together, it was 10 to the 40th, or 1 and 40 zeros.
You like that, Doc, don't you? Yes? There's a bit of science there. So what do we find when we go out, 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 out? What do we find when we go into the drop? Hey? Yeah, same. It's the same. So I just wanted to give you scientific in case there's some. I'm not a science guy, but there's plenty of science that you can look up.
Hey guys, well done. You've just completed this video. How do you feel? I'm just here just to remind you that in order for me to continue to support you, it's important for you to continue to support this work. Please like this video and also press subscribe, and remember to press the bell icon as well so you get notified every single time I release a video. I'm going to be releasing so much content here that's going to support you. If you're looking for something even more, like you're looking for a community to be part of, some extra support, some extra coaching, you're looking to share your journey with other people, then go ahead and visit my website at amirzoghi.com, and there'll be some information there on how you can be more involved. Also, I read all the comments. I'd love to hear your experience. I want to release these videos for you. I want to support you. I love to see how it's landing for you. What's your experience of the videos? Do you have any questions? So remember to comment below and I'll be responding to those messages as well. Thanks guys. I'll see you on the next video.